Well, hey, everybody. This is Pastor Jason with a little early word for you. One of the things that I've been really kind of wrestling with and thinking about is just the significance of Sabbath. And what does Sabbath mean? You know, Sabbath really is just having a regular day of rest. You know, so many times when we think about Christianity, we think of it as a list of things that we have to do. You know, that we're always doing. We have to get into church so we can be active in our church, so we can always be there. We think about keeping up with doing all the spiritual disciplines and praying and reading the Bible. And eventually we even think, well, we've got to be serving others. And if I'm not doing all these kind of action verbs, then I'm not being a good Christian. But my friends, I want you to hear me. If we're not rested, then all of these things that we do in service are just going to be off because we're going to be tired. We're going to be stressed. We're not enjoying our life. And ultimately, that's what our life was given us for by God, was so that we could enjoy this life, that we could rest in God. You know, the most mature Christians aren't those that are working the hardest. Really, the most mature Christians are those that are truly resting in God and getting the most out of their work and out of their play. That it's all about having balance in your life. You know, resting in God is enjoying the gift of life that God has given to us. It's about enjoying the relationship we have with God, and it's about us enjoying our relationship with each other. Sabbath reminds us, number one, that God is the point of our lives. God didn't create us in order so that God could accomplish more stuff. You know, we were actually created for that loving relationship. And so God just wants to be with us. So much of Christianity isn't about doing, it's really about being and being aware that God is with us in the things that we do and in the things that we rest from. God's still there. The second thing I think it reminds us is that God truly is the one who provides. If you think about it, in the Old Testament days, it was the Hebrew people who were the only ones who had a religious kind of, they had to take a break. It's actually one of the commandments, you know. It was a time when it was so hard you almost had to work every day just so that you could make enough, get enough food and all the things that you needed in order to survive. And basically what they were saying was, you know what? God's the one who provides. I don't have to work all day, every day. There is time for me to rest, even in the difficulty that there's things which we call life. And I just think that's one of the things we got to remember. And then also, that even falls into how we understand our salvation. Salvation is not something that we have to do. It's something that's given to us. We don't have to lift a finger. God is the one who provides salvation. God gives us our life that is abundant in this world and eternal in the world that is to come. And that's what Sabbath does. Sabbath just gives us a proper perspective on everything that we do. So, my friends, I know you all have busy lives. There's a lot going on. And what I pray for each one of you is that you find time to just rest and just be, to have balance in your life. And when you have that balance, you're going to find that your doing is going to be more effective and your resting is truly going to be a blessing. Have a great day. Blessings on all of you, and take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Early Word. If you have any questions, email us at podcasts@ahumc.org. That's podcasts@ahumc.org. You can also visit our website, ahumc.org, anytime. Any related links are also in this episode's show notes. Again, thank you so much for being a listener. We truly appreciate your time.